Hey everyone, Taco here and I hope you're doing well. And in this video, I wanted to share with you how you can make images like this using one camera, one LED tube, and no computer in the comfort of your own home. Alright, so to begin, I have here Nanlite's PavoTube 2 15X, which is their 2-foot version of their LED tube. Behind the desk here, I have the 30X, which is the 4-foot version of their LED tube, but really, you can do this with any LED tube that you have at your disposal. The camera that I'm using right now is the Nikon Z with the 24-70 f2.8 S lens, and the subject that I chose to take a picture of today is the Nanlite FC120B. Really, you can have any product here, so this will be great for any kind of product photography that you may want to do as well. As for the camera, the Nikon Z8, as well as their other Z cameras, they have this multiple exposure feature, and that's what I'll be using today. I'm able to expose up to 10 different images, and the camera actually stacks them all together, all inside the camera, so I don't need to use any computers. For this particular demonstration, I'll be using just 5 exposures, so let's see how that's going to work out. Now I've just turned my ambient light off, so I have the only thing lighting this area is my PavoTube here, and that's exactly what I want because when I light my subject, I don't want any external light affecting the image at all, so I only want the PavoTube, which is actually set to 5600 Kelvin right now, and I'm at 37%. Essentially what I'm going to do is light the subject, which is the FC120B, in any way that I want, just to make it look a little better, making sure that the Nanlite logo on the subject is properly lit. I like this right here. And then I also have the reflection of this light on the 45-degree reflector of the FC120B. So here's the picture that I took, and that is the base image that I'm going to use to lay on top of additional images that I'm going to shoot right now with this single PavoTube. Now my next step is to set this light up so that I have exactly what I want as seen from my camera here. And now I've brought up the PavoTube 2 30X, which is the 4-foot version. I have that parallel now in the back to the table. And essentially I just placed it right in the middle so that as seen from my camera, it is right in the middle of the subject. Now, I do want this a different color, so let's say I want the middle one to be a little orange since it's a little dynamic. And you know what, maybe I'm just gonna have a blue so that illustrates the Nanlite blue. I'm actually changing that with the Nanlite app, which is really easy to do. And this tube I'm actually not using right now, I'm just using to light myself up. So I'm going to turn this off, just like that. And now we have the only thing that I'm lighting this subject up is the background PavoTube. So what I will do is now look through the viewfinder, and I want to make sure that the only thing that's properly exposed within my frame is the actual background light, and not I'm not exposing for the subject matter because I already have that base picture of the subject matter. So I'm exposing for the PavoTube here, which is 1/100th of a second f8 at ISO 100. And the important thing here is to now engage the multiple exposure mode. Then after I do that, I will select the first exposure raw, which is the initial base image that I took. And now I will shoot this image. Just like that. And then I'm going to continue on by changing the position of the light, changing the color of the light, and doing this for another 4 images. and then the camera will automatically layer those images on top of each other and use the additive mode to combine them together to create the final image. Alright, so just so you understand what the camera is actually doing when it's in the multiple exposure mode, is this is the second frame that I'm doing. I've moved the PavoTube up to an angle, changed the color to green, and my camera here is now overlaying my previous two photos on top of what it's seeing at the moment. So you can see that the green is there as well as the blue that I've taken in my first picture, and that's already overlaid on top of the initial base image that I created. So it makes it easier to overlay, understand what you're overlaying on top of each image in the multiple exposure. This is the third image of the multiple exposure. I've changed the angle of the light again, changed the color of the light using the Nanlite tool, and I'm going to take that picture. And again, I'm seeing exactly what each image looks like after I've taken the picture, because the camera overlays the previous images onto the image that I just took. Here is the final image of the multiple exposure that I'm doing, and I've set the purple to vertical, perpendicular to the desk that I have my subject placed on. And I'm going to take that final image right there, and then after I do that, the camera actually combines those 5 pictures that I just took with these lights and then actually creates this final image. So I've just taken that final image. Now you're going to see the final outcome. Here is the actual image that my Nikon produced, all in camera. Now doesn't that look pretty cool? Yeah, I actually like that a lot. So here's the final image, and the individual images, there's the last purple image that I took. Sorry. There's the orange one, the green one, the blue, and the base image. Here we go. That's the base image that I used. And this was again lit with the one single PavoTube, and you now understand what the multiple exposure mode on your camera does, I hope. Alright, so that's pretty much it. That's how you use the multiple exposure mode on your Nikon Z cameras, and that's how you light up any subject matter with one single PavoTube. I hope you enjoyed this demonstration. If you have any questions on this or any of the products that I use, feel free to comment down below. Thanks so much for watching my video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.